I honestly don't like helluva, but I watch it anyway. I mentioned some of this in yesterday's video about how Vivi's only been putting out, like, you know, the helluva shorts and stuff like that. I know that she's been focused on Hazbin Hotel, but feed your fans, Vivzy. Okay, now for some backstory. So about, like, what, I started watching it in, like, 4th grade? Yeah, 4th grade. 4th grade. It was 4th grade, I think. It should be at least. So yeah, I started watching it in 4th grade. And, you know, like, oh, you know, it's all shits and giggles or whatever. Well, you know, I finished watching everything, and, like, some episodes are still coming out, and I'm obviously watching those and everything, and it's like, oh, you'll peak. Now, my favorite character is Stolas, and I'll get into that later. The first, like, critique I have is those two are meant to be together. Why do we keep trying to put characters together that don't belong together? Like, I do that with my OCs, okay? I do that all the time with my OCs. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Oh my god, it's meowing. Please ignore that. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I do that all the time with my OCs. Here's the thing. I don't make it a transactional relationship. It's just a relationship. Like, I have a bunch of OCs for a bunch of different AUs, and they're all connected in one way or another. It's like a whole thing, but either way, okay? Like, it's bullshit. Why are we shipping Blitz and Stolas whenever, like, you know, it was transactional in the first place? And also, she has a bigger offense of doing what I was talking about in my last video, where it's like just cursing and sex jokes, and it's like, funny, 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 but, like, it's not funny. Like, I've laughed watching the show, yes, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I've obviously laughed watching the show, but, like, it is not as funny as people say it is. There's too many helluva glazers in this world. The show being as low curtain genuinely ass as it is. Now, I still watch it because, like, to an extent, I do still I do still somewhat enjoy the show. Like, there are still certain aspects about it that I really, really like. But on the other hand, no. Why would I want to watch something that makes me feel like I'm gonna throw up? Anyway. And so, like, you know, I've just kind of been dealing with it for a while, and it's like, I know on, like, the, you know, no, I'm not going to talk about that yet, I'm not going to talk about the worst stuff. I feel like the humor was so much more funnier whenever they first started out the show than what it is now. And obviously I understand, like, censorship exists and everything, but you're making adult cartoons for people online. You have Brandon Rogers as a voice actor. It's supposed to be edgy. It's Brandon Rogers. What do you want me to say? Oh, yeah, guys, I love this show that uses a voice actor that has done edgy stuff and continues to do edgy stuff. But, you know, the person doesn't want to be edgy. I can't support something that doesn't even, like, at this point, forget it being for, like, you know, 16 or older, 18 or older, whatever. At this point, it just for mature audiences, like Hazbin is supposed to be marketed to. And what am I? A mature audience, as I said yesterday. I'm not some bumbling idiot 6th grader who, like, you know, can't wrap her head around the word fuck. Like, I say what I want and I do what I want. I go to the principal's office like 4, 3, maybe even more than that times a year. The least of my worries is this show. Like, I'm one trip down to the principal's office from being suspended for 3 days straight, or at least getting ISS. And I said this before, I'd rather have OSS than ISS anyway. Okay, back to the actual topic there. And it's like, I'm just watching this show that actually used to be okay have its reputation be ruined. Because Vivzy won't, I don't know, let the show be edgy like it was intended to be. Not every show has to have a bunch of sex jokes. Have we lost concept of that? I think we have. I really think we have lost concept of that. Coming from a literal 6th grader, we have lost concept of that. Like, it was intended to be an edgy show, and it was intended to be for mature audiences. Like, it was intended to be for, like, technically adults, I guess, because that's who she considers mature. But still, it acts more like some sort of edgy teenage comedy now. You would see some, like, broke 10th graders making in their bedroom whenever their parents are sleeping, rather than, like, an indie animation show that actually has a pretty good budget and some good voice actors. You recruited Brandon Rogers. It's Brandon Rogers. I love Brandon Rogers. He's peak, okay? And you're over here making a low-kurt, genuinely ass show out of him. I also kind of miss, on a side note, I didn't talk about this yesterday, but I also kind of miss Katie Killjoy's, like, original voice actor and has been. Like, bring her back. Please. Anyway. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. Like, I can't defend your show to my friends if you're low-curtingly making it more ass than what it already was, dude. I can't recommend it on YouTube if there's nothing to recommend. Like, even with Has-Been, I'd recommend that. So a lot of my friends do watch Has-Been Hotel, because we're all kind of in the same boat here. And, like, they're getting to helluva and they think it's all that, and it's like, you know, cool. Like, you do you, boo. Like, I love you, twin. But, like, at the same time, come on, it's ass. I just want you to admit that. And, like, so many people get so caught up over the fact that, like, I'm, like, saying this, or, like, I have an opinion. It's like, A, get off the internet if you don't like opinions, because, like, I'm just the tip of the iceberg here. I've heard and seen some people say crazier stuff than I have. B, I don't know what to tell you. You just want me to be like, hey guys, helluva is the best show ever. Like, that would just be lying. I don't like lying. Lying's like, I only lie if I need to. And I mean, I need to lie a lot. But still, I don't lie for something as trivial as this. And I definitely don't lie whenever I'm talking online, considering God forbid. Anyway, as I said, helluva is like straight ass, okay? The animation isn't as good as Has-Been, and it's obviously getting a bit better as she learns to do more, but the animation definitely isn't as good as Has-Been, and it was picked up by Prime Video as well, so therefore it isn't even considered an animation show anymore. And, like, she's focusing way more on Has-Been than helluva. Whenever I understand that Has-Been started her out, and helluva came quickly after that, but I'm pretty sure, isn't helluva what put her on the map? Or this is what happened for me. Like, my first introduction to Vivzy Pop was helluva. And I'm working through my nose. Like, my first introduction to her was helluva. I was like, I said I was never gonna watch Has-Been because I thought it was boring. And I was like, you know, I did, and I like, don't mind it. Like, I have a love-hate relationship with it. So, you know, like, you just can't be that incompetent. Like, it cannot be possible for a grown adult woman to be that incompetent whenever it comes to her own show that she wrote. Not to mention, I'm upset that they remade the pilot. I loved the original pilot. Okay? And I know she said that's not canon anymore. But, like, the helluva's pilot was honestly peak. That was the first piece of, like, yeah, apart from Model Family, that was the first piece of media I ever watched. Like, indie animation-wise. Like, I used to love the show whenever, like, I thought, like, cursing and jokes like that were so cool and edgy. Like, and honestly, I still don't mind the show. It's not like I, like, hate it with all of my might or anything. Like, I'm not gonna send someone death threats over, like, liking helluva. Like, I'm still in the fandom. Not as active as I used to be, but I'm still in the fandom. I do still go check forums and stuff. And I look at everything, and, like, I'll go on, like, the hashtags or whatever on TikTok. Like, genuinely though, I just don't see how a grown adult woman can be this incompetent. Come on. Like, what is she gonna do? Cancel me? Yeah, that won't work. Cause I'm not even saying her show's bad. I'm just saying it can use fixing. Everything can use fixing. Well, except me, because I'm perfect. But still. Like, come on. Like, me and my friends from a certain indie animation show or whatever on, like, stuff. Like, Al pitched the idea to me a while ago. And, like, you know. I said sure. Because I used to want to do animation really badly, and Al's good at that kind of stuff, so, you know, he can focus more on the animation and stuff, and obviously he'll be a voice actor, and I'll be a voice actor and everything. And, like, I'll get to write the plot and the jokes and everything like that. I'm not saying that it'll be good, I'm definitely not saying it'll be better, because we're two 6th graders that are idiots. He sucks at doing his schoolwork. He's surprised when he has good grades, and he's smart. I have all of my stuff done. I have good grades, and I'm really smart. And I'm in love with him. Anyway, but again, obviously that did kind of blind my judgment a little bit. So anything he does, I'll obviously love, because I mean, like, that's my baby boy. But you know, I'm just saying that, like, it's a good show, but I'm waiting for it to be great. Actually, no, it's not even a good show, it's an alright show. I'm waiting for it to be good, and in that case, I'll be waiting for it to be great. But I mean, like, the show really has come a long way since it started. I'm happy for Viv at that. Because, like, it takes a lot for an indie animation show to get picked up by, like, you know, Prime Video or A24 or, like, whatever. You know, like, I'm not hating on her and her obvious good accomplishments. I'm just saying. I know nobody likes that, I'm just saying stuff. You know, like, sometimes I feel like the fans just want to see something different. Like, the line between Stolas and Blitz needs to be cut off completely. Stella needs to come out of her closet. Octavia needs to be back with her dad. Stolas needs to get a life again. You know, we need to stop with, like, certain things in the show. And I need to crack Verosika. That's the main point here. I'm just fucking around. But, you know. I am glad the character designs are a bit more different than the ones in Has-Been, though. I do have to say that. That is something I have to give her credit for. I thought that the characters actually look different instead of just all being twins or whatever. And I'm also glad that some of them are given a human form, like in Husband. I do have to say, Stolas is human form. If I was a guy, I'd crack that. I mean, I can't be a guy if I really, really want to. I love shapeshifting. Did I already use this one? I didn't use this one. I used the yellow one. Okay, anyway. So yeah. The show's alright. I'm waiting for it to be good, and whenever it turns good, I will be waiting for it to be great. Husband's like, you know, love-hate relationship type of show. And then helluva. People need to start fangirling over Luna. Octavia's a minor. And I feel like everybody forgets that. Let's see here, what other critiques do I have? I'm convinced that Blitz and Stolas is just becoming a crack ship at this point. You know, it's all just... Why do I have this stuff on? I'm not supposed to have a chain. I'm not just going anyway, I don't care. That's character. Anyway. So yeah. That's basically all of my critiques for the show. There really isn't much else to say, but you know, like, Vivzy, please improve your writing techniques. People need to stop fangirling over Octavia unless you're a minor yourself. Because, like, isn't she... Yeah, she is 17. And I remember someone saying that. People need to not send death threats to people who like the show. You know, Vivzy Pop may or may not need to get off the internet. And I love you, Raymond Rogers. You're, like, actually peak. People are literally just fine if they say otherwise. So yeah, I'm going to add the last little bits of my outfit. And I will, you know... Oh, I have news. So, the counselor thingies for the middle school came yesterday. And, you know, they gave us a paper. I'm going to be in choir next year, which I'm really excited about. So I'm gonna be in choir, and then along with being in choir, along with being in choir, I'm gonna take drama club, manga club. So I'll be taking drama club with slash theater. Technically, it's theater with Alistair. What if we get the lead roles? We have to kiss each other. Anyway, yeah. So I'll be taking like theater with Al. I'll be taking manga club just like during lunch every once in a while with the Nifty. I will what's it called? I'll be taking a film club where I get to watch movies and stuff. Yeah, I already said I'm gonna be in choir. I'll also be in the show choir, so if there's like solos and stuff during like the theater shows or whatever, then I'll get to do those. Yeah, I'm taking choir with Husk. And there's like And then there's like a club for like gay kids. So I'll be taking that too, because if you guys didn't know, I'm pan, ace, and gender fluid. So, you know, now you know. So yeah, you know. I looked at, we're also required. Oh yeah, the first day of school is on August 5th, which is actually Husk's birthday. It is like so funny. Because I get to run up to him and be like, "Happy birthday!" at like 8 in the morning. Well, no, because I was before that. But yeah. Everything is coming together. Everything is coming together. Slowly but surely. I don't know. So yeah, everything's coming together. I'm going insane just thinking about it, honestly. I can't believe it's like almost time for me to go into 7th grade. I feel old. I'm not even gonna lie. I feel so old. But you know. Feeling old's fine, I guess. I'll be 13 next year. And YouTube will finally turn my comments on. So you know, yeah. Everything's going according to plan. Alright. Oh wait, we need to pick the bracelet up tomorrow. Okay, well that won't do that, so I'm gonna get back in the bed. Oh, it's my Junko one. Okay, we always love that one. I love my Junko bracelet. Alright, y'all know the drill. I am dipping. I'm dipping. Oh yeah, this weekend I might make some extra content for my friends because they wanted me to make stuff. Alright. Have a good day. Or don't. I don't really care. Goodbye, gang.